atrocious.
A bad.
Anyways,
Anyways,
no more talking about Twilight.
not for now. That's for the
We gotta get back into it.
that's the Patreon content.
Oh yeah,
All
I
right.
would do it.
Well, welcome back to Missing the Homies. As I've said many a time, this is the show where I bullshit with my homies, and this month I have Stassi, my friend, Stassi, my
Mhm.
friend.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
this month we're talking about Stranger Things. We are hopefully gonna be wrapping up season 3. Not hopefully, we will be.
We just
I'm
both
confident.
suck. We just both suck.
We
Okay, then
both.
we need to shut up and move into it.
Okay. With that being said,
We
the
get on
cer-
tangents. That's the problem.
the ceremonial gong will be
Open it.
hit, and the intro will be gone. Beautiful. Previously on Missing the Homies, we talked about, Will and Mike's final blow up at the Wheeler household. And Will finally got to say his piece, which I think was a long time coming and was honestly deserved.
Yeah. They're D&D. Yeah, they're trying to play D&D, and Lucas and Mike are like, nah, let's try and get our girlfriends who both dumped us
Now we're
to
trying.
pay attention to us. And he's in full garb. He is in his Will the Wise outfit.
Got his
And
robes on.
I absolutely loved it when he called Mike Michael.
When does he call him Michael? In
uh
rain?
in this scene, when like right before the rain, he's trying to set up like the scene. I'm sorry, my eye. He's
You're
trying to
good.
set up the scene for like the D&D thing, and he's got like the music playing, and Mike's like, it's early, and Will's like, is it early, Michael? It's so funny. I don't know why. I just, the way it was delivered, that line makes me fucking laugh every single time.
Will
um
honestly is way
he's a bad bitch.
sassier. He is.
He's so sassy. Like,
He.
think about it. He was raised by Jonathan. Of course he's sassy.
Yeah, and
But
Nancy. Nancy has ripped, or not Nancy. Joyce. Joyce has ripped. I feel like in each
people
season
apart.
there has
Remember
been
last
one.
season she literally told Bob she was gonna murder some teens
Literally.
because they made fun of Will. Like, they're best.
Yeah.
Anyways, so they don't really play along. They play along, but they're not like into the game. And
No,
Will
they're
has spent
half-assing
weeks
it.
putting this together.
They're half-assing it.
They're just bullshitting him. And so they answer the phone and was like, fuck it, I'm done. Like, I'm sick of trying to get my friends to pay attention to me. Like, I wish so much that he would have gone to the Scoops troop. I really do. Dustin would have let him in. Steve 100% would have been like, come join our team. He's small, he could have crawled through. I don't know.
I
But
feel like Steve wouldn't have been as accepting. Like I feel
I
like
feel like
Steve
Steve would have been.
I feel like Steve would have been like, "Oh god, another I got to hang out with another kid."
I
But
really don't think that. Because it's Will. I think if it was another kid, maybe. But I think because it's Will, I think they all have soft spots for Will. I do. How can you not? He was possessed.
he was lit
This
on
poor
fire.
child.
He
He
was
isn't
kidnapped.
taken. He was taken. Oh my god, my eye.
Oh my gosh.
Anyways,
Talking about Will gets
um,
Stassi so worked up.
so emotional. No, I just have an eye problem. But first of all, Will goes to leave. Fucking Mike catapults himself after him and was like, no, don't leave. And then we get this horrible fight where Mike says, you knew we were gonna get girlfriends. Did you think we were gonna like stay in my basement forever? And Will is like, yeah, I guess I thought we did. We were gonna do that. And he's
And
like,
he's
it's
like,
not
"Fuck."
my fault you don't like girls. In the rain, screaming in his face. And here's something that why I didn't want you to Google Noah Schnapp. Noah Schnapp recently, in the beginning of February, came out.
Ah,
So Noah Schnapp is gay. He publicly came out at like 18.
confirmed.
Now confirmed, like he did it himself on TikTok. And I do want it to be known that this means that little 13-year-old Noah Schnapp listened to Finn Wolfhard scream in his face.
You're
It's not my
gay.
fault you don't like girls.
Wow, he got
Which
outed
they
on
told-
TV. Oh no, you
It's even
froze.
funnier because I was like liking a ton of things on TikTok because the whole like character for Will, what? Oh no, let me know when I'm back.
Oh, you're back.
Okay, the whole character for Will for season 1 was like a child that like has sexuality issues, and like someone was like, "Damn, how did those casting directors get you down in one?" And Noah's like, "No, for real, how'd they know?"
That's fucking
Like he thinks
insane.
it's crazy. Like think of every scene you've seen about Will. Noah was gay, which is so important to like the
Which is,
mainstream media to have an actual gay person portraying a gay character. And
yeah,
obviously when it's like a kid, you don't like you can't cast that. But like they somehow did.
which is, but
They
I'm gonna
somehow
say
gave us
that's so tough to be a kid and like be figuring that out for yourself and just getting
struggling with your own
screamed.
sexuality, and like Finn Wolfhard is towering over you. And like they're really good friends. So like obviously like it was clearly acting. But like imagine reading that script being like okay.
Shit.
Anyway, so that scene, like knowing it now, just like is so much worse somehow.
Yeah.
But so they have that little breakup fight, and Will storms off and he destroys Castle Byers, which was his safe haven in the Upside Down.
So fucking sad.
We get the
So
first Will has the first fuck. He yells fuck when he's destroying the castle, and that's the first kid who gets to say fuck in the show. Just a side note, thought you would like to know that. You know, 11 fact.
I do love that fun fact.
But then we get so this is okay, so this is the point where I was like, oh, sorry, but Mike and 11 are kind of fake, because when 11 broke up with him, he sat there and wallowed. But when Will ran away from him, homie followed him across town
That's
in the rain. He immediately followed after him after like the fight. He went, then they fought more. But then he's knocking on his door. He's following him. And Will is just like, yeah, no, fuck this. We got bigger things to deal with.
which is
My
crazy.
Slayer is back.
That's like
That timing, Vecna, because we're assuming this is Vecna now as a season 4 viewer. Vecna said, "Ooh, I know what to do."
I know.
He
I
said, "You're
know.
vulnerable. I know what we can do."
I know the lowest point. Let me grab.
No,
him.
literally, but yeah, that's like him destroying Castle Byers is so sad, because like that was literally where he hid in the Upside Down for a week, like so that he wasn't murdered.
Yeah.
And he destroyed it because Mike. And okay, so obviously looking back at full circle, we don't really think Mike was being like homophobic in this situation. I do think it was more of the you just don't like girls yet.
Yeah.
Because they did shoot different scenes, but they went with that one. But like the other thing that he also said, you don't like girls yet.
Well, I mean, that's not even how I didn't even take it in like a homophobic way. I took it as like both of them were dealing with their girl problems.
Yeah.
And like Will didn't have that stress. He literally just wanted to play D&D.
He just wanted to be a kid. Yeah.
Yeah, like he just wanted to hang.
Some people do look at it as like a homophobic thing, and like I personally don't view it as him being homophobic. I view it as like a him, like you said, like Will's just not, him being like, oh, Will's just not there yet.
Yeah, Will's chilling.
As an audience, we know Will is not gonna ever get there.
No.
Okay.
But
then we get the whole sauna test.
Anything more to say about Will and the kids? Because we got to get to the scoops.
No, that was me. I was just gonna say they go to the sauna test. That gives us the whole hospital thing, and then we get that's kind of that.
That's what brings all of that. Oh yeah, because we're going
to my Scoops troop.
Because they run back and scoop up everybody. Yeah. Okay, so the Scoops troop. I already love Dustin and Steve.
I love them.
Amazing.
Carried the season. Best part of the show.
And then I loved Robin and Steve. And you know how I feel about Robin and Dustin.
Obviously, I know there's not a chance I can't do this. She is a 17-year-old and he is 14.
I know, but
and he has a girlfriend.
They gave vibes.
I don't understand. No,
I don't know. Dustin loves he loves Susie. Anyways, what were you gonna ask?
Susie. I cannot. I was gonna ask, like, obviously, I know you didn't catch that she was a lesbian because you thought she would end up with Dustin. But did you think she was gonna get like with Steve? Like when you were watching it, were you like, oh, okay,
I did.
like she was written to be Steve's? Well,
Well,
she was. She was written to be Steve's interest.
so I got like weird vibes between Robin and Steve because at first
Mm-hmm.
I didn't think they were going to be together. It wasn't
Yeah.
until they got captured that I was like, "Oh, okay. I could see them together. I think they're really good together." And then the whole bathroom scene happened and I
Yeah.
was like, "Oh,
That's my
okay."
full page of notes. My full
Yeah.
page of notes is the bathroom scene.
But
But essentially, they did straight bait the fuck out of you because Robin was written into the show as Steve's. Like, imagine she stayed as Steve's girlfriend. Like, she was written to be Steve's girlfriend.
yeah.
So, like, imagine, like, the show would have been so fucking different because I'm sorry, but what they did with Steve and Robin is so fucking important to me. It is so special. It is
Talk on
so
it.
perfect. Like,
Tell me
I
about
can't
it.
explain how well they did.
Talk about it.
But
Talk to the people.
okay. I love them. First of all, I'm so sorry, but Robin, like, okay, so she's a lot of people say a lot of things about Robin from season 3 to 4. Because in 3, she's very like she's kind of bitchy, which like I love that for her. She's not friends. Like she doesn't have any friends. Like that's something
Yeah.
you learn like the Rebel Robin that I was telling you about. She prior to this, her best friend was Barb, and Barb ditched her for Nancy.
Which is
Then she had a few
crazy.
band friends, but Robin realized she was a lesbian young and realized she could not get close to people without like it's the 80s. It's not
Yeah. It's
2022, 2023 when we're watching. It is the fucking 80s. You're Reagan's fucking president. Like every bad thing in life can go back to Reagan being president. But she knows Steve as fucking King Steve. Steve who was pretty homophobic and beat the shit out of Jonathan, who, you know, did take a plate to the head from Billy though. But like she knows him as the popular douchebag that sat in front of her for a full year, had no idea she was behind him.
Yeah.
And
but you know,
so there's
they did write like the bathroom scene. They made it like I mean you said they straight baited like
they straight baited you so hard.
Her being like you didn't even
they did that on purpose.
You didn't even know my fucking name. I was just like
yeah. Well, they did that on purpose and I loved it. But let's see. So many people make Robin's coming out scene about Steve, which is just gross because like yeah he's there, but like this is Robin's scene.
100%. Yeah, Steve.
Then there is like
I feel like it starts as Steve's and then Robin very quickly takes it over.
The thing that I wonder is like obviously she's gotten close with Steve, you know, with the Russian torture of it all because she did think his dead body was strapped. She literally thought his dead body was strapped to her.
The Russian torture of it all.
Yes. Like first of all, she definitely thinks that Steve's dead body was strapped to her. She spit in a Russian soldier's fucking face over it,
which was crazy to be truth serumed and spit.
She didn't get. Yeah, we have to assume she didn't get like beat up, but we don't know what happened to her. They didn't show anything, but she did come out of it looking not, you know, beat to shit like Steve.
Yeah.
Which again, the Steve of it all, like Steve really cannot take another hit to the head. Like he cannot do it.
Steve,
and I do think personally, I do think Steve feels immense fucking guilt that Robin got brought into this because
100%.
He just brought someone else to all of this that had nothing to do with this.
Because he can't do shit. Like Steve. Yeah. I mean, it's already
Robin is the smartest character in the show. I'm trying to go fast. I'm sorry.
No. You're all good. I was just gonna back you up, being like, you know, it's already shown that Steve is not the smartest guy from Nancy helping him write his papers, and he is just concussion after concussion after concussion.
Oh my God.
That's why they foil.
Going into Steve, where I truly think that Steve, since he went back to fight the Demogorgon, has just constantly been the okay, as long as everyone else is okay, I can get beat to shit. It doesn't matter. Yeah. I genuinely think he is trying so hard to make up for being like King Steve that like he doesn't give a shit if he dies because he's got to protect everyone else.
He's
like that is his
redemption arc is
And this is what kills me is we see in the bathroom scene that he is over Nancy Wheeler. He straight up says, I'm over her. I found someone better for me. Sure, he misjudged those feelings because Robin is a lesbian.
Yeah.
And I do wonder, like, I think Steve had a crush on her, definitely. But he immediately turns that into, just kidding. I love you as a friend, girly. Because I don't think Steve has ever had a friend. I genuinely don't think Steve has ever had a friend. Like, he's got Dustin. And Dustin's like his best friend. But Dustin is 13.
Yeah.
And Steve is 18. So there is like, it's more of an older brother situation.
Yeah.
Or his mom. You know, he's his mom. And
do we ever see Steve's mom?
We never see Steve's parents. Steve's parents like do not exist. So
you're talking about Dustin. You're talking about Dustin.
Yeah, I'm talking about Steve as Dustin's mom.
Oh yeah.
But like Steve has never had a real fucking friend. So yes, he's got a crush on her. But also in that moment, it's suddenly like, okay, maybe I had a crush on her, but like I got to get over that immediately. She could be my best friend. He's never had a friend.
Yeah.
Do we also think maybe he just doesn't know what having a friend is? Because in that moment, he does have to like, in that moment where she's like, hey, did you OD over there? Of like after she says like she was in love with Tammy Thompson, which like, then the Tammy Thompson reveal of season 4. But like
don't we see Tammy Thompson in
season 4?
But don't we see her in 3?
No.
Are you sure?
I'm positive. We do not see her until season 4. It's a big joke in season 4 when we see her.
Oh, yeah, because at the assembly. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind. Sorry.
Okay, so like I think at this point, you know, Robin has come to terms that she actually likes Steve. She does think he's a nerd just like she is.
She loves Steve in that like Steve
She's realized he's not a piece of shit. Yeah.
Steve is her best friend.
And she doesn't want to hurt him either, but she can't date him. Like she knows she can't. So you can see it on her face where she's like a little flattered that like Steve kind of fell for her, but she's also like, I don't want to hurt this bitch's feelings.
Yeah.
But like she also likes him enough that she's like, I have to hurt his feelings.
Yeah.
But I don't know that she would have done all this if she wasn't injected with truth serum. Like it's still in the system, no?
Yeah, because
they say it's not, but
no, I think they're like coming down from it because, you know, her being
I think it's still
because her being well, maybe I don't know. I don't know that she wouldn't have done that.
It gave her a little bit more of like the
kick in the ass she needed.
Yeah, I do love like how they start off separate and like Steve kind of closes the distance by sliding under that nasty ass public bathroom.
That was so fucking disgusting. That took me out of that scene. I was like, wow,
also, that's let's be honest, those two, like they are conjoined twins as far as I am concerned. They are one and the same after this season. I
was so disgusted with that scene though.
Oh, it's like, so gross. But like once you do some shit like that, you're connected. Like you are so
it's
I also like wrote like just in my mind I feel like Steve, like anyone that gives him the time of day, I feel like he might just fall in love with anyone that like is nice to him.
Steve has got a lot of issues.
He's got a lot of family issues. Like he has definitely been abandoned by his family. Let me see. I just want to make sure I get all my notes here.
I love how you're powering through.
I'm trying so hard because you said this is the last one. Okay, so when she was like, she is so afraid that he's gonna reject her, and she's like, you wouldn't even want to be friends with me if you knew. Like there is so much fucking self-hate within her because she is a lesbian. And again, it was the 80s.
It was the 80s.
She would literally be killed for trusting the wrong person.
I say that like I was there in the 80s.
Like we were alive and
like we were
not even thoughts. But like again, I'm so sorry. This is the most important relationship to me in the show, and like the way that they go from this to how they are in season 4, like I love them. Like I love them so much. But then we also like just on Robin notes. She is the smartest bitch on this show. Out of every single person, she's definitely.
I wouldn't say she's the smartest, but she's up there top 3.
I will say she's the smartest.
Really?
I would 100% say overall she is the smartest because like there's definitely smart people. Like Dustin is a genius.
Yeah.
At not everything though. Like I genuinely think all around like she is huge in like the musical theater world. Like she can play she can read music, bitch. I can't do that. I don't know, like a lot of people can, but like
Yeah,
she knows 4 languages just automatically
casual.
because
Yeah, just
well, so
casually.
the reason for that is again in the Rebel Robin, she desperately does not want to live in Hawkins, and she has like a huge plan that she wants to go to Europe, and so she wants to be able to like leave. Like
Don't
there's
spoil
a
it.
well, it's not really a spoiler. Like she kind of talks about it,
Yeah, but I
but
want.
like
Oh, I want to
oh well,
watch.
it's not like a huge. I'm not really saying
Oh,
anything else, but like yeah, she desperately just wants to leave. But like I think with Steve, this is the first person that's like, oh, I could like live here for like I can make a friend and stay here.
she.
It's so sweet. I'm
They're
sorry.
both. They're both their first friend.
No, for real, they are. Like this is their
Oh,
first real friendship. And then like she learned Russian in a day.
which was fucking
She
crazy.
cracked a fucking
Yeah.
Russian code. Like I'm sorry, she is the smartest person in the show. She's the one who got Erica. Like she is. I'm sorry, she's the
Oh
smartest.
yeah, yeah, yeah. She
Um,
did because Erica walked in with. That's why I
yeah,
fucking hated Erica. But Erica
Jesus.
did grow on me. As soon as
Oh
they
my god.
went underground, I was like, okay.
But I do like because she's also so sassy when Erica's like, I'm gonna drink that shit and it like destroys the ground and she's like, you
It
still wanna drink that shit?
literally fucking eats the ground. What?
But she is
Which was?
always like
Did they ever explain what that stuff was for?
it like powered the machine that like was opening the upside down.
Oh my god. Okay. Crazy.
But like if you look, Robin is always like grabbing one of the kids, pushing them in front of her. Like she doesn't know these fucking kids. She just knows they're kids. But that's another thing was like the Russian torture of it all. She didn't have to stay. Like she didn't have
No.
to stay and hold that door with Steve, but she chose to do that.
Yeah.
So like love her. But then if you want to get into that, Dustin does kill a man. With that like fire stick thing, he like electrocutes the fuck out of whoever's like
Oh. Yes.
he does kill a man.
100%.
But yeah, Dustin finds a fucking Russian code. I'm trying to get through the rest of Scoops very quickly, but like the Stephen Robin of it all is like why this is my favorite season.
Well, okay. So I have Robin's D&D class, and she is 100% a bard.
Yeah,
That is like the
I get that.
musical, and I put my note, like my reasoning is that she's literally in band.
Jesus Christ.
Erica would be a rogue. She's always covering for
does say that.
Lucas. Always covering for Lucas. She's super
Mhm.
smart, very resourceful.
My favorite thing about Erica was quite literally when she did not believe that Lucas was there. She's like, no, I believe you about all of this, but I just don't think Lucas was there. Like you're
Oh.
lying about that.
100%. I was like, damn, she's just like that's where she was starting to get less annoying and more funny to me. Where I was
Yeah.
like, damn, she's really just being a bitch. Like,
And Steve in this season, I'm sorry, they put him in lip gloss. They gave him little highlights. He's wearing his little sailor suit.
the
So
sailor
fucking
suit was
funny.
so funny.
I
Sailor
think it's-
Steve.
And he's just getting like bullied by children. His coworker, who becomes his best friend, is bullying the shit out of him because he can't get anything with anyone coming into the mall.
Nothing. Steve sucks.
But Steve's got that handshake with Dustin, and he's so happy to see Dustin back. He's like, I hate all of those other little shits, but I love you.
See, that's why I'm saying I feel like he would not have been. I mean, maybe because
Again,
it was
I
Will.
think it's because it's Will. I genuinely think if like Mike came in, he'd be like, "Go kill yourself." But like because it's Will, he's like, "Of course, Will." Like
Especially
just-
because it was Mike.
yeah, but definitely, I love that they kept Dustin and Steve together this season, and adding Robin was a great choice. Giving us Erica because she's a bad bitch in season 4
I think Scoops Troop
is my
was
favorite.
the 100% the strongest group of
They carry it.
season 3. Their storyline, their whole thing, I would have loved to just followed them the whole
A
time.
full season of that. I would have been totally fine with it.
Yeah.
But yeah, one of my favorite things is when it's the finale episode when they split apart again and Steve Robin like Scoops Troops goes to Cerebro and they're like, no, we gotta go back because they see the mind flayer, which like what is the rest of the town doing that they don't see this shit but
Right.
go off.
Like we know Ted's
but
not
they're
not
going
fucking clicked
they're
in.
going back, and so like Robin doesn't even think she gets in the car with Steve, and they just fucking hit Billy Does Steve know that Billy is played, or is he just like, I hate that guy?
Oh shit.
Like no
Yeah.
one told Steve that like Billy was the problem. He just sees the car coming and he's like, I hate that bitch. He's homophobic.
See,
He's racist.
I think that's Steve just really getting on his mama bear shit. Steve
No,
is like,
for real.
somebody's gonna touch these kids,
Must
floors
protect.
that shit, and
Well,
immediately.
and then I'm sorry, Nancy was ready to be hit. Nancy's firing that gun, being like, he hits me, he hits bad
Nancy's
bitch Nancy.
Nancy's
Nancy is the baddest of them all.
she is bad. That was so fucking stupid. I was like, Nancy, why are you
I
gonna die?
something that's crazier to me is this is about Nancy. When they're trying to get away, it's Nancy, Jonathan, Will, and Lucas. They leave Mike, Max, and 11
Yeah.
in the mall and just leave. And I was like, wait a minute. Wouldn't you wait for your little brother, Nancy? Like, I
No.
genuinely sometimes forget their siblings.
Because they don't
They don't interact.
I think they interact once in the season just to be like, hey, you're good, all right,
Yeah.
cool, and then
They
that's
haven't
it.
interacted since season 1.
Oh shit.
What?
That's 10.
No. Anyways, so Billy, we get the Billy of it all. Billy is flayed, and there's been points where like the sauna test, we saw Billy, like that scene with the sauna test, that is Billy for a second.
Yeah.
Billy is sobbing to Max for a second, and then it switches to he's gonna kill her.
Which is
but the same thing happens here with like 11 breaking through to him about his mom and how he's like traumatized. Also, I'm sorry, his mom's a piece of shit. Like she was getting beat up, but she didn't take Billy with her.
yeah, that was fucked up. What?
Like she left
She
her
just-
kid who's
she-
also getting beat up.
Billy
That's crazy.
Billy had it tough. Billy definitely.
But like, okay, so I know we talked about like Billy and Will, but like really Billy and Jonathan are kind of parallels to each other. Like they both got their asses reamed to them by their dads. But like
Yeah.
Jonathan was like, I'm gonna take care of my little sibling and make sure that he doesn't, try and make sure he doesn't go through this shit, which we know that didn't happen. But like that's not
Oh.
Jonathan's fault. Jonathan stepped up, got a
Yeah.
job, did all this stuff.
Did whatever he could, and Billy was just a bitch.
He just kept getting beat up. He never like played the scared, timid guy, which like you don't have, he was who he was, and he was a piece of shit.
Yeah. Seducing
And
Karen.
he sacrifices himself, but like it doesn't erase that you're a piece of shit.
And also, like, not to be like, he did it at the very, very end. Like, when he kind of knew he was, like, already fucked, he was like, oh, okay, well, like,
Yeah. Well, he's
where-
been drinking pool chemicals for, even if he somehow
what does
didn't,
that have
he-
to do? What did that have to do with
it
any?
was like destroying the body, and that's when it like all popped, like everyone's body, and it like became like the
Oh.
giant mind flayer.
Also, okay, we need to Lucas
Save the day.
getting
Lucas saved the
getting
day.
the fireworks,
That was my notes. Lucas is the one who made sure no one died in season 3.
and as soon
Lucas
as
is the unsung hero.
as soon as he said it in the
Fireworks.
the supermarket, I was like, I can't fucking wait to see that.
I was gonna say, number one, I loved how much Will and Lucas we got this season because they got paired up a lot together. I love their friendship. They're such cute besties. Will would have been at every one of Lucas's games. I'm just saying. And then I love that Max is making hardcore fun of Lucas's plans, but she's the only one helping him carry that cart filled with them. Like she's like, you're a fucking dumbass, but you're my dumbass.
They're like, I love
I
love
love
Lucas and
Lucas and
Max's
Max.
relationship.
They're my favorite.
Yes, and
They're my favorite romantic relationship. I have many
Yeah.
favorite relationships. As stated, Steve and Robin are my end all be all like friendship of this whole show.
yeah, platonic.
I will not. It platonic with a capital
Steve and Robin brackets platonic.
Yes, no, for real. But I love Lucas and Max, and yeah, for a second I was like, who did I just say? But yeah, this is where young Max, she gets survivor's guilt because she was right there. Like she had to see him die. She had to. She had to.
Close those
But
eyes.
also,
Close
like,
those eyes, girl.
when Lucas beat the or not Lucas, when Billy beat the shit out of Max and Mike, and like they wake each other up, and both are just like, all right, let's go.
Yeah, where
he like hit Mike's head on like a fucking like pole.
Yeah,
Like
I'm
a
just. Was that in the locker room or was that where?
no, that was in the mall. That was when
In the
Nancy
mall.
left. But
Bro,
yeah,
and
I absolutely am screaming over the fact that like I don't think they ever
absolutely screaming.
mentioned that Billy was flayed, and Steve was like, I'm gonna just hit him.
No,
He's
Steve.
gonna hit him with this car.
That's where
Like
like
he had no clue that Billy is flayed.
it's so funny because the crazy shit that happens in the show just keeps topping itself. So it's like like you can't talk about like the shit that happened back in season 1 because it's so
10
insignificant
times. Well, then
compared.
no one knows that Steve and Robin were like tortured.
Yeah, like that.
Like it does not get mentioned, and I just feel like that's something that like I hope in season 5 they just casually make like a little comment about like, oh, remember that Russian torture, and everyone's like, I'm sorry, what? Because like you know they didn't tell anyone. They just know that Steve got beat up, and Steve's always beat up.
Yeah, so they were like, oh, Steve again.
Not who hit him again.
This guy.
They were like, it was probably Billy again.
Fucking A. End of season faves? Do you
Robin?
So you know what? Robin didn't make any of my season favorites, but
and that's wrong of you.
It is wrong. Like looking at it now,
yeah,
this is not right. So
I wanted to just really mention they really honed in on that moment when 11 flips the car. We get a really cute moment with Dustin and 11 staring at each other, being like so happy to see each other. I just thought that was cute, and I wanted to mention it.
I love
their friendship
stuff. Shows like this, and you know, I feel like Game of Thrones in a sense, like having the entire party together is like
because we get that cute moment with the OG party where they're like, hey, it would have been really cool if we were all together this summer, but like they just mean the last 3 days.
Literally, and like I mean all of them saying like Lucas being like, I wish you guys were there, you guys would have we needed you there. Yeah. And they were all like, no, Lucas, we or like not Lucas, Dustin. They're like, Dustin, we needed you there.
Where were you? I also just love the moment when 11 was digging through the trash like for the Coke can, and Max is like, what the fuck is she doing?
Yeah, that was so sad.
She didn't judge her. She was just like, what the fuck? Oh yeah, 11 loses her powers.
Yeah.
And Jonathan does surgery on her. Oh, Hopper
dies. So that we skipped over so much.
I had to talk about Robin. I'm sorry. Rip Hopper for the next 3 months.
So when it happened, I very clearly noticed in that last episode the like split of the room. I was like, that's so intentional that they put Hopper that far so that he was on the other side. So I knew he didn't die.
You know, just like how Max knew that Billy was flayed with "That's my sister." There's that line where Hopper is telling 11 she needs to leave. He said, "They're not after me." Immediately, that's the moment where you go, "All right, Hopper's done."
Wait. In which part?
In there's a scene when they like it's right after Jonathan did that gross ass surgery, and 11 gets the piece of the mind flayer out of her leg, and Hopper stomps on it. Yeah. The next episode starts up, and it's the finale, and it starts up with like Hopper and Elle, and that's when she gets the little ponytail holder of him. She's being like, I'm tired, but I can fight still. Yeah. And him being like, listen, like you need to be safe. This thing's not after me, it's after you. Like I'm gonna fix this. Mm-hmm. That's when you know Hopper's dying, because like it's not after him, which means girly, it is after you. The second you say it. Same thing happened with Bob.
That's so true. But I knew Hopper didn't die at the end of season 3.
Yeah, it was spoiled.
Well, not even that. Like, even while I was watching it, I was like, "There's no way he died." He was. Oh, then that would have been even more interesting. He was
supposed to die, and then they brought him. They did decide, JK, we're gonna keep him.
I mean, he was so sick in season 4. Like he.
Yeah.
Wow, Stassi, we're finally gonna be caught up next
season. Dude, season 4 is gonna be. It's too much.
Crazy.
We
cannot do 5 episodes on season 4.
We have to. There's 5 groups. There's the before, and then there's when they split.
Oh my god, we're gonna have to actually plan recording sessions then.
Let me know.
All right. Well, with that being said,
Season 3 is great. The finale episode of season 3 is, I think, my favorite episode.
it is one of the craziest things I've seen, period. Like
Mhm.
the whole firework montage of them just
It's beautifully done.
bombing the mind
beautiful.
flare. Oh
Thank
my!
you, Lucas.
I could just rewatch that like what 5 minute
I think
scene.
that's why I've rewatched 3 so many times. It's just such a pretty season.
Oh, it's visually I
like
think the
them
best
all,
one.
the lights, so good.
All right, well, it's gonna kick us out. So Stassi, I will talk to you soon.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
We did
it. We made it through season 3.